everybody, it's EK from ekgormandesigns.com, and I am sneaking in here with something a little bit different today. Starting today and ending tomorrow is the Connie Can Craft Blog Hop featuring This Magical Moment theme. It's a Disney-esque theme, and I thought I'd pull out these digital stamps from Bugaboo that are Disney-inspired, for lack of a better word, and show you how I colored them up for this blog hop. The blog hop starts at the Connie Can Craft blog, and then there's lots of people participating. There are prizes to be handed out for hopping along the way. If you're watching this video, thank you for coming in. I will leave a link in the blurb below so you can start at the top of the hop if you are coming in at a random place. But here we go. I am coloring up with my Copics today because, well, I like coloring with my Copics. And I wanted to do something really fun here with Belle, besides the fact I forgot to color her neck. I wanted to use the same markers to color her dress and to color Luminaire. The candle. To color the candle. But I wanted to show how you could use the same markers and actually create different colors using, in fact, the same colors. So I really blended out my shadows with the lightest color, which is that Y21 on Belle's dress. But with the candlestick, I really laid the darkest color down heaviest. So that way that there is a tonal difference between the two, but yet they're in that same family of colors. I didn't want to introduce two different shades of gold and yellow because I thought they would fight with each other. So instead, I just really used the markers differently to create this effect. And you can see how much darker the candlestick feels than the princess. Now, if you've been around me for a while, you'll know I hate coloring hair. It's not that I hate coloring hair, it's that I'm bad at it. So I'm trying a new technique for me, in which I start with my darkest colors and highlight the darkest zones of the hair and flick in color and then work my way out. I don't know if this one is a success, but I think it's better than what I normally do. Because let's be honest, I am not necessarily good at coloring hair. I'm working on it. I'm learning. It's happening. I don't know what it is and what my handicap is on coloring hair, but there is one, and yeah. So with this one, I colored all my colors in from this E20 family, and I didn't go back to my darkest marker. I pulled out that E27 and re-emphasized just my dark spots with a touch more marker. For the teapot and her cup, I thought I'd be kind and just keep the color light and really saturated so that way they weren't stealing focus, that the princess had the majority of the focus. I also have a major coloring boo-boo right here. I thought for some reason the ruffle was pink and I kept staring at it and I'm like, that's not right, that's not. So I pulled back. I may have looked things up online and gotten a more accurate depiction of what the coloring should look like and fixed my boo-boo. Because you can do that. The glory of alcohol markers is that when you make a mistake, there is ways to correct it. Yes, that gold band looks a little bit different than the other gold on the page, and that is okay, because in fact, it all still feels in the family and yet individualized. For the candlesticks candles, I used gray to put in the shadows and then pulled out a really light yellow, that YOO, and colored them in. I think he ended up looking a little green, but life happens. I wanted to keep this card really simple, but I did need to ground the images into the surface of the card. So I went ahead and used a collection of E50 markers to create a wood pattern grained ground and shadows for our characters, just so the whole image didn't feel like it was floating off into space. I will tell you, after I finished coloring it, I was like, wow, I really didn't pay attention to light. Oh, wait, he doesn't have his light. It was this fun, like, debate I had with myself. The candlestick's not lit. I probably should have, like, I don't know, put some more thought into it, but I didn't. I wanted to add some sparkle and shine to this card, so I pulled out my Jelly Roll glitter pen and my Spectrum Noir, I can't think of what it's called, Sparkle Blend pen or Sparkle pen or, anyway. and added the Jelly Roll pin to the marks on the image, and then just added extra shine to her dress and maybe other places. But there you go, there's my first card, and I have a second card because I was feeling extra happy today. I used the same color combination on the Princess Here's skin as I did with the other princess, so there's nothing special happening here, just me quickly laying in skin tones. Because so little of her skin is, her face and her arms just aren't the focal of this image, so I wasn't paying too much attention to that. Where I really wanted to focus my attention on was this dress and that shoe, and make sure my highlights and lowlights in those areas really stood out, because that is, let's be honest, the shoe is the focus of this, and her dress, because all princess dress is also a focus. One should always focus on a princess's dress, let's be honest here. There's a reason we love princesses, and it's because they wear the ball gowns. And Cinderella's ball gown has always been one of the best. Anyway, so I'm coloring things up, and I'm just using my lightest blues because, yeah, they sparkle and have a magic to them, but yet aren't overpowering and draw attention away in a negative way. It's soft, it feels right, the color seems perfect. One of the things I find really difficult when I'm coloring is, in fact, to do something soft and light, because I like to lay lots of color onto the paper. So when I need something rich and dark, oh, I'm in my coloring zone. When I need something to really be a nuance of soft and tender, I struggle more. I was fortunate with the princess's hair on this one that it's in no way, shape, or form a focal image, so I was able to just really quickly try to make her a blonde and not worry too much about things because, again, hair is my kryptonite. It's that simple. Now the shoe did take some real thought. It's kind of one of those moments like, exactly what color should we make it? Well, I went with white, but if I left it just white, the card would seem flat and dull. So what I really needed to do is lay some grays down, and I used the cool grays to do that, to add some lowlights and some highlights, and to really try to make the shoe feel like it had texture and curves to it. The insole of the shoe, I went with darker shades of gray, and then for the outside, I really tried to let just the curves be highlighted. It was okay. The side of it looked better than the front. In the same way with the first card that I needed to ground the image, I had to on this one as well. I just did it wrong. I pulled out the darkest marker first and forgot to lay down my lightest colors. And with flooring, I really do like to lay the lightest down and then go to the darkest and then work backwards. There's something about blending things out that makes the whole card just sing. It's an interesting combination of colors. When you use the E13, 15, 17, and 18, you end up with a slightly redwood floor. It probably is my favorite combination for floors. I just never use it because it's so bold. I colored in that little heart, and then once again, using my sparkle pins, I added a little bit of shimmer and shine to certain spots on the card because, let's be honest, any princess needs a little extra sparkle and shine. For my first card, I just matted it with some simple gray cardstock and mounted it onto an A2 card. But for my second card, I wanted to make it a little special, and I couldn't find the paper. I actually wanted to mat the card. So what I did instead was create my own, because I wanted a storybook feel to it. So I added some script stamp and then some deep red bubbles. The stamp is from Deep Red Stamps. And I added some blue bubbles to the background of this blue printed paper that is a bazillion years old, and I can't even begin to tell you where it's from. And then added the image on top of the card, just to make the whole thing seem a little bit more special. Thanks for tuning in today. Make sure you head over to my blog to continue on to the next leg of the hop. I appreciate you for tuning in today, and happy crafting!